how it's done.
Today, we're going to be talking about Now, before we start talking about that, we need to talk a little bit about rule of thirds. Now, what is the rule of thirds? Well, if you take this image as an example, you can see that the man in the picture has two green lines going down across him and two green lines going across him. Now that adds up to practically cutting the image into thirds. As long as you keep in that rule of thirds, you're fine. And also, you need to know what type of shot you're going to be doing, which leads me to camera shots and angles. Just a quick update, please don't be this guy. Please set up your camera accordingly. Please make sure that everything is appropriately set up. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's get on to our first shot, which is an extreme close-up shot. An extreme close-up shot is something like this, where you can only see a certain amount. So if we take this phone for example, you can see the phone and nothing else. But what if you're not filming just objects? What if you want to film a man or a woman or an animal or something? Something that's not an inanimate object, something that will move. How do you account for that in an extreme close-up shot? Now as you can see in this extreme close-up shot, it can show particular features of a human being or an animal or something. It could even show emotion, depending on how it's filmed. Now that we know what an extreme close-up shot is, what's a close-up shot? Now as you can see, there's a difference between what an extreme close-up shot is and just a close-up shot. In an extreme close-up shot, as previously mentioned, you can see particular features and emotions. In a close-up shot, it will show a character from the shoulders to the top of his or her head, or in some cases, its head. Now that we know what a close-up shot is, let's go on down. What exactly is a medium shot? As you can probably tell, we're going a bit backwards in terms of frame sizing. In an extreme close-up shot, we're very close in terms of proximity to the subject. We're a little bit further away when it comes to a close-up shot, and in the medium shot, we're a little bit further away in comparison to a close-up shot. Now, this medium shot, or this type of shot, it will frame an individual from either the waist up or from the knees up, showing an audience just enough to feel as though they're looking at the whole subject. However, he looks a bit too enthusiastic, so you probably don't want to use this guy. Now we're going to get onto our penultimate type of shot, which is a long shot. Now if we use the idiot as an example, you'll see that this frames the entire height of him, with the head near at the top of the frame and with the feet near at the bottom of the frame. This can show the location, character or characters if you've got more than one, and any action. Now the idiot is on his phone, so that could show actions, and you can also see him packing his stuff up and leaving. Now onto our final type of shot, which is an extreme long shot. Now this sounds a bit obvious, but bear with me. We can use this room as an example of an extreme long shot. This establishes the location or a setting. However, you may want to avoid using a bog standard classroom as a setting unless you're a bit boring, in which case go ahead. But from personal experience, I don't know, maybe you might want to use a western landscape for something. It really depends on who you are and what you film. Kind of good, you know. Oh, it's filming. Yeah, so now that we've got different types of shots out of the way, now let's talk about different types of angled shots. Now you're probably wondering, weird guy on the internet, what are you talking about? We just went through shots. But again, bear with me. Now say you want to add a bit of height or grandeur to a film that you're making. This is how you do it. Now again, we've used the idiot as an example, but he's unpaid and he needs the experience, so we're going to roll with it for now. But a high angle shot is when the camera is on higher ground, although not directly overhead, It's tilted downwards. Again, you can use here for height and a bit of grandeur. Now that we've discussed what a high angle shot is, we're going to go on the opposite spectrum. What's a low angle shot? Now a low angle shot is the complete opposite of a high angle shot. Whereas the camera is mounted on higher ground, the low angle shot tends to be on lower ground, tilted upwards at the subject. Now the next type of shot is an eye level shot. Now I'm not going to try and be funny or do any stupid jokes or any sort of fancy editing. This is literally an eye level shot. You're at eye level with the subject. Let's move on. Now the next type of shot is a bird's eye view shot. Now don't confuse this with a high angle shot. A high angle shot is where the camera is not really overhead the subject. It's sort of at an angle and it's tilted downwards. Now with a bird's eye view shot, however, you're directly over the action. Now let's take my really nice blue shoes and my black jeans as an example. I am directly over the action, and if you really wanted to be fancy about it, you could move that tripod up here where you would normally put it for a high angle shot. However, just tilt it all the way downwards. Now I wouldn't recommend doing something like that at home, otherwise you might fall over, unless you enjoy that sort of thing, in which case, go ahead. Now that the bird's eye view is out of the way, let's have a look at another one. Let's look at a canted shot. Now as you can see, a canted shot is when the camera is tilted so that the subject looks diagonal or off balance. Works in some cases, doesn't in others. Now we're going to move over to the last kind of shot. This one is the over the shoulder shot. Now this is going to be the most obvious one of all, but here's how I'm going to show it to you. Now that wasn't really something spectacular, but you know, for video purposes and for tutorial purposes, I'll put this in here. An over the shoulder shot is as it said it is. An over the shoulder shot so that you can see, I don't know, birds going by or any other characters or whatever. Now to summarize camera work before we go on to editing. A storyboard artist must understand the difference between a shot and a scene. Now, camera framing is based on the distance between the subject and the character. Camera angles add a bit of dynamic to the frame, and more often than not, they grab the audience's attention immediately. Now, it's all well and good being able to frame it, being able to shoot it, being able to move the camera, but it's no good having all of that amazing footage if you cannot edit it. Now, the following little highlight reel, if you'd like to call it that, is a mashup that I've created for you guys, showing you different types of editing techniques. You'll see parallel editing, you'll see continuity, you'll see jump cuts as well, and I will use the appropriate examples from well-known films in order to demonstrate this.
You want to play some word games or do some experiments on me or anything?
Oh.
Your hand on his arm, a stack charm around your neck. Strung out and thin, calling some friend, trying to cash some check. He's acting dumb, that's what you've come to expect. Needle in the head.
Police Constable Nicholas Angel, born and schooled in London, graduated Canterbury University in 1993 with a double first in politics and sociology, attended Hendon College of Police Training, displayed great aptitude in field exercises, notably urban pacification and riot control, academically excelled in theoretical coursework and final year examinations, received the Baton of Honour, graduated with distinction into the Metropolitan Police Service, quickly established an effectiveness and popularity within the community,
Use your brain.
proceeded to improve skill base with courses in advanced driving and advanced cycling. Became heavily involved in a number of extra-vocational activities. To this day holds the Met record for the 100-meter dash. In 2001 began active duty with the renowned SO-19 Armed Response Unit, received a Bravery Award for efforts in the resolution of Operation Crackdown. In the last 12 months has received 9 special commendations, achieved the highest arrest record for any officer in the Met, and sustained 3 injuries in the line of duty, most recently in December, when wounded by a man dressed as Father Christmas.
He stepped off. Yeah, she's got a grenade. She's got an RKG Russian grenade. She's saying to the kid.
You said woman and a kid?
You got eyes on this? Can you confirm?
Negative. You know the RO. Ceasefire!
So that's it, everyone. I hope you did enjoy this video. I hope you learned something. And Have a nice day.